Okay. Okay. Hey, Ash, are you good to go? It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar, we're at the fabulous Wayfair today on Ferret Street, a couple of blocks down from Napoleon Avenue, where they have featured for the summer a drink called the Frosé, which Thomas is drinking right now. Look, if you're looking at this on Facebook Live, look at that beautiful drink. It's a frozen cocktail made with dry rosé, vodka, Saint-Germain, Peychaud's bitters, lemon juice, and a house-made strawberry basil syrup. It's available for the whole summer here at the fabulous Wayfair, as well as a happy hour here for 3 hours every day and brunch on the weekends. Andrew Duhon is back from his travels. Andrew, welcome back.
Thanks, buddy.
Good
What
to
did I
see
miss?
you. You haven't missed anything.
Great.
Just people sitting around drinking,
Yep.
basically.
That's what I
You
was
also
doing.
have missed my pen, though, haven't you? You haven't seen this for
Oh,
about
no, is
a
this
month.
new? Oh, right.
This
No,
is
the
my
same
pen
one.
made by Noel Pens, the only pens made from a Fallen Audubon Park live oak. Try that pen out, you guys. It's a one of a kind, except there are millions of them. You can buy one as well. It's an expertly crafted, limited edition writing instrument available only at noelpens.com. Look, Andrew's drawing a little tree. That's sweet.
It's
on the
his,
tablecloth.
it's his old homeland that he wanted to express to us.
Thanks to Basics on Magazine Street, where you can get fine lingerie and a full range of fashion swimsuits as well as workout and yoga clothes with style. Try the pen. And thanks to the Positive Vibrations Foundation, who create and encourage community through the development and preservation of the arts, music, culture, and heritage. The fabulous Jo Morris is here. Jo is a woman. That's why it doesn't have an E on the end, I suppose, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And
Is that a
Steve
thing? I didn't know that
Walkup.
was a thing.
And
He
Steve
says a lot.
Walkup is here as well. Steve, how's
Is
it going?
Joe an distant cousin?
Joe and I are not related, I don't believe, but C-Rock did tell. C-Rock, what is the deal with this again? The word, you don't have a mic? Oh, that reminds me. We never did a mic check here at all, by the way. No worries.
You
It
sound
doesn't work.
great.
So apparently the name Morris, what did he tell us? It's the 8th most common name. Or 53rd
Or
most.
53rd,
53rd most common name in the whole of the United States out of 88,000 names.
Huh.
Yeah.
So that makes you feel pretty special. But talking of names, everybody's name here is, this is the best names of any show we've ever had. Apart from you and me, Joe, who have a shitty common name. This is Steve Walkup.
Which is the
Is that your
1
real
millionth
Yeah.
most common name.
Right. But Walkup is your real name.
Yes.
And where does that come from originally?
Well, it comes from Scotland, and when my ancestors came over, they couldn't figure out what the hell they were saying, and they couldn't spell it, so they spelled it Walkup.
That's great.
But the real
What were
spelling,
they actually saying?
Wauchope, Walkup.
Walkup. And that's Scottish?
Yes.
And it became Walkup at Ellis Island.
And there's actually like a Walkup forest and a river and a street and all that stuff.
Okay.
Which I'm going to in August.
Nice.
Where is it?
It's like in Langholm, in that area, like southwest part of Scotland.
You been there, Andrew?
I haven't been to that part, no.
Andrew's been pretty much all over the UK with his guitar. And that reminds me, we're playing 3 songs here today.
Great.
Okay, these guys are in a band called St. Lorelei. Is that
Awesome.
pronounced correctly?
Yep.
So we're going to make them play 2 songs and make you play 1 song.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so now we're moving right along. Here is the other person with one of the most awesome names on the show ever.
Let's hear it.
Danielle de Sol.
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
How beautiful is that?
Thank you.
I'm
Is that-
Danielle of the Sun.
Danielle of the Sun.
Yes,
Is
and-
that your real name, or did
It
you
is.
make that up for stripping purposes?
The classiest stripper
Yeah.
ever.
You're not
It is my
actually.
real name.
You're more of a paint stripper.
Exactly. Very well done.
Uh
I've already
oh.
done that.
Looks like one of your kids fell off the chair.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
there it goes.
goodness. Oh dear. Well, that was a good start. So Danielle brought her kids here. Oh my God, that's good. These kids are drinking. I guess. I hope that's only. The poor little girl fell off the chair here at the bar at Wayfair.
Too much
Oh,
virgin
dear.
daiquiri, I suppose.
Christian en route to the rescue, though. I think Christian's brought up a couple of little girls. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And Shane Tingle is here, which is also a fucking awesome name, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
What did you change your name from originally?
No, that was my name.
You were
From the
born.
very
You were
beginning.
given the name Shane Tingle.
Yep.
Okay, let's go back to Little Del Sol Jr. What's her name?
This is Helena.
Helena Del Sol. What an awesome name.
Great name.
Her name is actually Helena de Sol Green. Because my husband's last name is Green. I refuse to take it.
Yep.
He's very understanding about that. I refuse to even let them just be Green.
Because of
I
the
like my name so much.
Because of the color?
No, because my name's Del Sol. Come on.
Yeah. So you didn't want to give up your name because
didn't.
it sounds awesome.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So what about the love and affection you have for your husband and the
It's
fidelity to
immense.
his family?
And we even have played with the idea of combining them, so becoming the Del Verde family.
That's a great
Really,
idea.
it sounds more like a salsa, so we abandoned this.
That is a good idea, though. What about Del Sol Green? That does sound pretty cool too, doesn't
Well,
it?
that's their last
That's their
name.
real name, is-
Yes. And maybe one day I'll acquiesce and become Del Sol Green myself.
I like that.
For now, I'm Del Sol.
Helena Del Sol Green, and so little Helena probably has a bad headache now.
I would have.
She hit the deck pretty hard there. What's she drinking?
A frosé.
First, she's Helena's first frosé. Okay, so you're the actual executive director of the Preservation Resource Center, which is a fairly prestigious organization in New Orleans. I'm surprised that you wanted to come on this show, quite frankly.
I'm honored to be here. It's
Oh,
such
awesome.
a blast.
What
yeah.
made you want to come and talk to us here today?
Well, I am only the fourth executive director in PRC's history.
Yeah.
We are a 45-year-old organization. And
Wow.
part of me being chosen as a new executive director was really a symbol to everyone that we're in a new era for the PRC. So I want everyone to know what we're doing.
So you're
And
getting out of Uptown and all that sort of stuffy bullshit, and you're going to actually
exactly.
reach out to the community.
Exactly. And we already do that, but we just haven't told the community that in
Okay.
ways that people have actually heard. So everyone thinks that we're a bunch of old ladies uptown, and it's not true. So I'm ready to tell the world what
Okay.
we do and how we do it.
What do you do exactly?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Roughly.
We work all over the city. So our mission is to preserve New Orleans historic architecture and neighborhoods and cultural identity. And we do that in a ton of ways. So we have an incredible magazine that we put out every month that talks about why our historic buildings and our historic heritage is so valuable. Basically, this is America. We don't have a collective sense here generally that old things are good. You go to other places in the world and people more easily understand that their patrimony, their heritage is of value. But here, the new is good, the modern is good. But here in New Orleans, our historic architecture is part of what makes us such a magical city. You combine it with the music and the food, and it creates a city that could be only here and no other place. And that's part of why 18 million people come to this city.
18 million.
Yeah, a year. That was the official tourism number last year. 18 million
There's
visitors to
18
New Orleans.
million tourists a year
Yeah.
in New Orleans.
It's
in
our
a
number
city
one
of less than
economy.
1 million people.
Yeah, I mean, it's vitally important to our economy that people continue to come here. And they won't come here if we don't look and feel like New Orleans. And so protecting our historic architecture is vital to our economy. And it's also a huge reason why
Okay, so
I
you're the
personally
most
live here.
you're the most important person in the whole city. Then. You're responsible for preserving.
I'd say the mayor probably has,
Well,
that
she's the
title,
most
but-
visible, but you're responsible for the preservation of New Orleans, and that's what our whole economy is based on. That makes you the most important person in New Orleans.
All right, I
How
accept.
about that? Oh, that's good to know.
Hey, all right.
I grace you with my
Yeah,
presence.
that's no wonder. Thank you for being
I
here.
have a question. Does the entity have a Instagram account by any chance?
Yes, we're wildly popular. We've doubled our following in the past year.
Great.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm asking specifically because I imagine you
Yes.
share like, pictures of beautiful
Yes.
things and like this used to be
We do.
whatever. Yeah.
We do. The handle is at PRCNO. And we do a variety of things. So, yes, it's so easy to post pictures of beautiful buildings, and people love that. And that's a huge reason why people follow us. But then we pepper in really substantive stuff,
Yeah.
like, historical articles about places all over the city, and economic information about how people make money revitalizing structures, which is hugely important to us.
Yeah.
And do you ever post a photo of like a poor boy or anything?
Not really. I mean, we might.
And you still have a lot of
Might make it-
followers.
I know, right?
It's interesting because it seems that most of Instagram is filled with photos of food.
It's true, but no. Once you follow us, you'll understand that beautiful buildings are such a huge subset of Instagram followers.
That's interesting.
And New Orleans is particularly attractive because of the tropical colors and the tropical foliage.
So people are following you outside of New Orleans?
Oh, absolutely. We have a
Oh,
huge
I
national
see.
following.
That's interesting. Steve, where do you live? What part of town?
I have a place in the Bywater.
Is it historic?
It is. It's an old corner store. The corner part of it is Bywater Bakery.
Oh, yeah.
And then
that's
my
cool.
place is on the side. And
So you live right
Oh.
next to the Bywater Bakery?
hello. Is that better?
That's pretty handy. You live right next to the bakery
Yeah.
in the same building.
So I bought the building thinking I was going to maybe live there, rehearsal space, whatever. And then I met my partner, and we did the bakery, and it's been awesome.
So you own the Bywater Bakery?
Yeah.
That's your business?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's interesting. See, this is why you should send me a bio, because I would have known that.
Yeah.
I sent a bio about the band, not me. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't think I was that important.
So that's interesting. So your musical career is parallel to your bakery business?
Yes.
I always thought you were a drummer. I didn't know you were a baker. I've known you for how
I
many years
am
have I
not a
known?
baker. My partner's the baker.
Okay,
I
who's
just-
your partner?
Chaya Conrad.
Okay.
Yeah, she's amazing. And then, if I can say this, I would love to have her on my late night talk show called Spotlight,
Cool.
which happens once a month at Cafe Istanbul.
Oh, neat. I'd
You
love
want
that.
to invite Danielle on that show?
Yes,
What about me and Andrew and
Yeah, what about
Shane?
us?
Yeah.
of course.
Why?
Yeah.
We're not interested in that. What qualities do you need to have to be invited on Spotlight?
Well, we have musical guests. We have interviews with people
I
that
thought
are
you were the
making
music.
a difference.
I thought you were the
I'm
musical.
the band leader.
Yeah, right.
For the show.
And John Calhoun is the host.
Yeah, and
yeah,
John
we've had him
yeah,
on the show.
Like I'm one of the people that started it with John.
Right. Okay.
Like 5 or 6 years ago, whatever.
And it's still rolling along.
Yeah, and I
I'm surprised that Andrew hasn't been invited on that.
You know, what? I don't know what I have to do here. You know?
Really?
I suggested it.
Oh, it didn't pass
Well,
the muster.
No. It's like
Who makes the decision about who gets in what the music guest? Is that your decision or is it John?
No, there's other people that.
Okay. So it's like a team.
You got to pass the board.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that go out and listen to musicians and help pick who's
Okay.
going to go on. But
Okay, so that we have to play these 3 songs here, so we have to get started on the music here. So this band St. Lorelei, which I admit for some reason I'd never heard of. Do you guys play out all that much?
No.
No, that could be why.
we're fairly new. Yeah.
I just listened to it the last few days since I knew you were coming on the show. I'm absolutely shocked at how good it sounds. It's like a real 4AD band from back in the day when people were really able to sing and write songs. Back in the Cocteau Twins and This Mortal Coil. You remember those bands?
Yeah, some of our influences actually.
I mean, this stuff is really great. Wait till you hear this. Unfortunately, we can't play with the whole band here because we're limited to what we can pull off. But
Yeah, this is like St. Lorelei unplugged.
so can we pull off any semblance of what it really sounds like here today if we try a song?
I mean, we're going to do it no matter what.
Let's do it then.
If we have
Okay.
Joe's voice, that's all that counts.
There we go.
Yeah. So, that's all right.
She's good. She's
Helena,
Joe
Del
has a
Sol
little
Green. So, what are we gonna? Yeah, what are we gonna play? I can
Well-
grab.
I think first. That's just what exactly we thought had happened. I think first I'm going to play a song called Farewell Transmission.
Farewell Transmission. Okay.
Stole the
t-
title from another song.
so tell us something about how you got started in this whole thing.
Like the St. Lorelei whole thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I moved to New Orleans maybe 6.5 years ago, and
Where'd you move from?
I was living in St. Louis. I lived in New York for a little bit before that. I'm actually originally from St. Louis, so I left New Orleans, or I left New York and went back home for a little bit. Then I came here, and I moved here and started playing in a little duo called the Kentucky Sisters, and that's kind of where I sort of connected with Steve at some point. I don't know.
I saw her play at the Circle Bar with Kentucky Sisters. and
Okay.
like, this is awesome. Like, beautiful harmonies, and they're both playing ukuleles, like old songs, new songs. But I had no idea that what her real music was about till I happened to see her just playing solo at United Bakery for art opening. And she was just singing and sitting on her This is how I remember it. And
well,
sitting on her
sounds
Fender
somewhat
Reverb,
romantic.
like just playing like her materials, like, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Joe, do you have a band? And she's like, no, maybe you could help me put one together. We had known each other for a while at that point, and I had hired the Kentucky Sisters to do parties and this and that. So it just started from there. It took us a long time, like a year and a half, 2 years, before we
Okay,
got
so-
the right people.
Okay, so now you put St. Lorelei together intentionally to create this particular sound that you've been. Well, did you have this sound in your head, Joe?
No. I mean, so I had recorded an EP with my friend's band in St. Louis, and some of the sounds kind of came out with, but honestly, I didn't really know what we were capable of. I didn't actually know any of these musicians that Steve pulled together, so...
So did you have this? Were you the producer then, Steve? Did you have this idea, or did the musicians just do
Well,
this?
once I heard
organically?
her voice, I was like, I know who I want for bass, Marcus Bronson, and the guitar player. There was 2 people that I thought about, and Alec Vance. When I sent him, when she did that recording in St. Louis, I was like, listen to this. He's like, oh my God, are you really asking me to be in this film? And I said, yeah. And it's like, yes. Right.
Okay. All right. I think that's a sufficient build-up,
Let's
Andrew?
hear it, yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
So,
Farewell transmission. You can move
tiny
anything around.
bit, yeah.
Okay, so this is the guitar mic here. So let's
Right,
try and
I guess so.
see if we can get that working.
Are you ready? Okay. I'm not.
I received a farewell transmission. The static still remains. Listen for your honey, I've been listening for days. Settling on deep November air. It's finally clear from the swamp to the blade. Shooting at empty pellets, see how far they lay. Before I shoot my body out to where I think you lay. Now come find you. I'm still waiting for your honey with this letter in my mouth. Your tongue into the flesh is numb, then spit it out. I think we all want to partner on this side or the next. Burrowing into old words with these sharp claws and this warm flesh. And when this tired world is gone, there's neuron spot is dead. Now come find you. And I received her farewell transmission. Tickle is stretched across the sky. Here is my message. Listen. Now sing in the
Joe Morris and Steve Walkup from the band Saint Lorelei.
Awesome.
What did you think?
That was
Shane.
incredible. Wonderful. Unbelievable.
Danielle, what did you think of that?
Gorgeous. What a voice.
Man, exactly.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And it's her songs.
Really?
Really?
Oh, man. That's beautiful.
Joe, how do you feel? That's an intimidating gig sitting here around a
Yeah.
tiny little
Yeah.
table.
Back up,
I feel
everybody.
my
Back
face
up.
getting really hot.
And we've never done like the cajon and acoustic guitar version.
And this thing you're sitting on is called a cajon, this box.
It's like one of the oldest rhythm instruments.
That sounds cool. Well, good job. Very nice. So we'll make you play another one a little while later. And can we steal the stuff off of Spotify or anything at this point, or what?
I don't know about Spotify. I know we have a Bandcamp. We have some demos up. We just did some recording a couple weekends ago with Mark Bingham, and I'm hoping to have an album out by the fall. So
Okay. Well,
that'll be up
I heard,
somewhere.
the stuff on, I heard the stuff on your website, stlorelei.com, I guess. Is it?
Those are I think those are the same ones that are on Bandcamp.
STLorelei.com.
ST.
yeah.
Oh, yes. ST Lorelei. Good point. Not Saint. Where does the name come from? See if C-Rock's got a theory. We'll see if he's right.
Oh, really? Is it something to do with the Gilmore Girls? Because people always ask. We were trying to figure out what we wanted. Lots of back and forth, lots of mass texts, so many mass texts. And I was looking up on one of these like baby name websites. It was like death and destruction, and Lorelei came up as a siren to lure sailors to crash into rocks. I was like, perfect. And then we added a saint, and
Oh, that's it. So
yeah.
Lorelei was something out of a person out of mythology who's like a siren who.
The name of the mystical mermaid who
Okay.
caused
that's
her
cool.
audience to crash into.
Okay. Well, that's a bit different from C-Rock's theory, but
okay,
that's a
I'm
bit
curious about that
more
one.
romantic. Talking of romance, Shane, we haven't even talked to you at all for 1 second.
Hey, man, that's okay. Okay, no problem.
Well, let's just keep moving. We'll pass you right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, listen, we're going to take a quick break for this very second. We're going to take a quick break, Thomas. Hello. And we'll be right back with Shane Tingle and stories from Cambodia
Absolutely.
right after this very short break. And we're back with Shane Tingle, Danielle de Sol, Steve Walkup, Joe Morris, and Andrew Duhon, who's back in town after how many months have you been away? Like
It was like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. It feels like a long. It feels like forever. How
Man.
was the whole trip?
I was great. I was mostly pleasure. Maybe it was all pleasure.
Oh, you weren't playing anywhere?
No. I turned
my God.
34 while I was out there. I
Yikes.
did some camping, some fishing, some, moving the pen along, hopefully. Maybe some new songs or something. But,
Okay.
yeah, it's good. Good
All right.
leisure,
Okay,
simple
that's
time.
good to know. Oh, I
Yep.
thought you were out on your summer tour.
That's not till, there's a couple coming up, but no,
That wasn't it. Okay.
Just leisure.
That's nice. Oh, that's very nice. Okay, so Shane, I wanted to talk to you about this thing that I read about on your this bio that our producer Graham gave me.
Okay.
It says that you have an organization. You're actually, what do you actually do for a job?
Well, I worked for about 25 years in the movie industry, and I
Right.
started out. I did a few stunts, but mostly I did photo double
You're
work.
a stunt man?
Technically, yes, but I did more photo double work, just actor double work for Costner. I doubled for Woody Harrelson a lot, but Paul Walker was a super close friend of mine, and I doubled for him and stood in for him on a lot of films. Yeah.
What does that entail?
Standing in is normally when we shoot a film, we only shoot about 2 pages of dialogue in a day. So the actor has to do a rehearsal, they have to do a blocking rehearsal, and it may take an hour to 2 hours to set up the camera and the lighting and everything. So the stand-in will have to know all the lines, know all the blocking, know where he's set, did he answer the phone left hand, right hand. So he has to know all that stuff while the actor's in hair and makeup and getting ready. So it's more of a technical thing. The stand-in will do the rehearsal over and over and over to get it right. Of course, I'm not as good-looking or as a great actor as Paul Walker or Woody Harrelson, but I have to kind of know what I'm doing.
Right?
You're minor league.
Totally as good looking as
No, but it led me to be able to hang out with a lot of famous people, a lot of good actors, a lot of just cool people, and And Paul and I got to be super close friends, traveled a lot together, and did a lot of cool things together, yeah.
Well, that was a sad story.
Oh, man, that guy, I worked with so many big names in film, and he was so un-Hollywood. That guy was just such a wonderful guy. And if you know anybody that worked with him, they'll say the same thing. Just so down to earth, good guy.
Do you have any talent as an actor yourself?
Long pause. A little bit. I mean, I can pull off some things, but I knew to go to L.A. and try to be a working actor. To be a working actor and really actually make a living at that, that's like playing center field for the Yankees. So I knew that I could go be a stand-in, a photo double in film, and I knew a lot of film people. First film I did was way back. I doubled for James Woods in Ghost of Mississippi.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I got to know Rob Reiner, Alec Baldwin, all those guys like many years ago. So,
All right.
Yeah.
So you're friends of the stars.
Distantly, they kind of know who No. Rob Reiner's a good friend of mine. Woody's a good friend, and through the years, yeah, I've known a lot of people. But Paul and I were super tight. Yeah.
Do you have any poop on Rob Reiner?
Rob is a great guy, super cool guy, very intelligent guy, and just a warm, compassionate person. I can't say one bad thing about Rob.
Well, you won't be working again in Hollywood if you do.
No. He's a good guy, fantastic. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions about Hollywood people? Steve, you know anything else?
No, not.
That was it?
Unless he's got something on Woody.
Oh, man, no. Woody's one of the most intelligent people that I know. That guy is super smart. Comes to work every day, knows his stuff, and super healthy. And I'm a big health runner, mountain biker, rock climber, and Woody's very, very health conscious. Does a lot for the planet also. I'm a big environmental guy, too. So.
I never knew that anybody would have a sort of an ambition to be a stand-in.
Well,
like you go to Hollywood to make it as a stand-in.
No, that's not the deal. The deal was I worked for about 15 years in corporate sales, and I was really good at that, and dated the same girl for about 10 years, and just didn't really want to get married and have kids. I just didn't think that would make me happy, and so I'd worked on a couple movies.
Wait, just go back a bit. Did you say you dated the same girl for 10 years?
Oh, yeah. I hope she's not listening.
And then at the end of 10 years,
I don't have a problem with commitment, I promise you.
What do you have a problem with? Children?
No, I just knew that I wanted to travel. I wanted I'd read books my whole life as a kid. I read everything about culture and, traveling to Nepal and India. And I thought, originally I'm from Mississippi, about 2 hours from here, born in Texas. But I thought there's no way a kid from Mississippi can ever grow up and do those things. And so I wasn't miserable in the corporate sales world. I wasn't miserable with the girlfriend. I knew that I wanted more. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be an adventurer. And yeah, I was like so many people that work in the film industry. I worked on the first movie that came through town and kind of got the bug. But I was also a realist. I knew I couldn't act for a living and really make a living.
You were a normal person with a relationship, a 10-year relationship, and a career in sales.
Yeah.
And one day you just said, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to break up my relationship and quit my job and go into the movie business and be a world traveler.
Actually, it sounds like that, but it's, how things take a phase, and different things have to happen, but... Yeah, basically that's what happened. And really, I took
Did you have
just
some
a leap
sort of
of
a
faith.
breakdown, or?
On the way here today, yeah. No.
Well, you didn't have any there wasn't a sort of a break. It was a gradual
It was just
shedding
a gradual
of your
thing, and
old lifestyle.
And I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm a big rock climber, and I just so was into nature and everything. And I didn't plan to go into Hollywood full time. And then the more I worked in it, it basically led me to work a movie 3 or 4 months, make money, stick money in my pocket, and then travel the world. And which helped me with what I wanted to do anyway.
How long ago was that? Did you start this lifestyle?
About 15 years ago.
So you've been doing this for 15 years. You've been like a sort of man alone, out in the world, traveling around, doing whatever the hell you feel like.
Yeah.
And
jealous? You a little jealous?
Well, I was. Who wouldn't be? Do you have a relationship with another girlfriend now?
Boy, that's a whole nother show. When can you book that?
One in each city?
So many girls that I dated were like, go do your thing, I'll wait on you. And then I'm like, you don't want to wait on me, because it's just...
This is sounding familiar.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
This is Andrew's lifestyle used to be like this.
Yeah.
Until he met the right person. Now fall in love and settle down.
Yeah.
Well,
That's could happen to you.
That's what they say, yeah. That's
But-
what all the Cambodian, I have some Cambodian friends who basically have read, psychics and stuff, just friends of friends that say, 2023, you may get married. And I'm going to be like, well, I'm going to be on an island somewhere by myself
A
in
Cambodian
2023.
psychic told you that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's probably going to happen then.
Well, you
So you
never
spend
know.
a lot of time. This is what I was trying to get to. I didn't know there was all this other interesting stuff about you. So you've got this organization which is called. Is it called Every Drop Counts?
No, the name is Aquashare.
Aquashare. So why does it say Every Drop Counts?
Well, because that's
What?
our website,
Okay.
www.everydropcounts.us.
Everydropcounts.us is the website, and it's
Yeah.
called the company, or whatever it's called. The organization is called Aquashare.
Aquashare, yes.
And you can say this, explain this better than I do, but you dig water wells in Cambodia.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was rock climbing in Thailand around 2000, and just on a whim, we flew from Bangkok to Phnom Penh and took a boat up the Mekong River to a little town called Siem Reap to see this old temple called Angkor Wat. And at that time, dirt streets, I knew nothing about Cambodia, but it was crazy. We took these dugout canoes up this. It was like something out of Apocalypse Now. Seriously, these kids were jumping in the water, swimming out to our boat just to touch our white skin. I got to Cambodia and was just blown away by the compassion of the people. I had no idea. I'd heard of the killings, had executed basically. They say 3 million people. They think it's more than that, at least half the population from 1975 to 79. And he killed all the smart people.
Stupid people now.
Oh, man, come on now. The Cambodian people. But you know what? I see the trick.
I didn't say that. You said.
I feel that, well, they did. They killed all the smart people first. And there is, it's a tough thing to see the difference between Cambodia and Thailand and Vietnam it was so bad there. The people, and you got to understand, Cambodia is thousands of years old. The elder people are writing the history of the country down and burying it, hoping one day, generations later, would find it to know their culture. So there's a lot of culture there, but basically the trickle down of that today, most villagers make between 70 and 80 cents per day in the rice fields. And they say up to 9 million people in Cambodia don't have access to fresh water. And, we see these kids here today, and think about these kids. These families drink stagnant pond water. That's what they drink. The moms will dip in green, what we see here in Louisiana, stagnant. And so the mortality rate for kids up to 5 years old is just astronomical. Mm-hmm. We found a way. I'm trying to produce a film over in Cambodia, but I ran into an actor. His name is Savin Philip. He's a Cambodian actor. His wife Chove. They're kind of like the Brad Pitt and Angelina of Cambodia. But I
you
ran
could be
into
a stand-in for him.
Maybe
Do you have to look Cambodian?
Camera's a little out of focus, but we found a way to build a freshwater well for these villages for $575. We can provide fresh water to that village for life.
How do you know how to do that?
Well, Philip, I was very lucky because Philip he's a very famous actor over there. He had been building water wells for about a year. When the way I met him, I just through a friend of a friend. We were doing a screen test from several actors. I met him, and the last day, the rest of the crew had flown home to the States. I was there just hanging out. You got to understand, I'd gone to Cambodia for 20 years trying to figure out how to make a difference in Cambodia. And the last thing I talked to Philip, we did the screen test. We said, we think you're perfect. Of course, with film, we're still waiting for the $2 million to shoot the movie still today. So anybody want to be a film producer, let me know. But Philip said, hey, I have a little, maybe you want to build a water well with us. And man, I jumped on that. And at that point, I just came back to the United States. I would work a movie. People knew that I'd go to Cambodia so many times. And I started talking about water wells. And, it's the crazy thing is if you donate money to an organization, maybe it feeds one kid, maybe it does something one time. This literally is water forever. We have an ironclad guarantee if the well ever dries up, we go back and we re-drill the water well for free.
Okay, listen, did we ask you this then? That all sounds great. So you've got basically people living in these little villages
Yep.
Or, I don't know, how many people live in a village? 1,000, 10,000? What size are they?
It just varies. Yeah, you may have, most Cambodian families are very big. So
Okay, so
normally
there's-
10 or 12 people.
There's tons of people. They're sitting around there all day. I guess they're not employed. They're only making 80 cents.
No,
a week.
no.
They're
The thing about that,
planting rice.
people in Cambodia do not sit around. They work
Okay.
all day in the rice fields.
Why can't they dig a well?
Well, one reason they can't is because it's so much sand there in Cambodia. They would try to get 100 villagers together and dig down, but it all caves in on itself.
So what do you know about digging wells that people in Cambodia? Why couldn't they do that
Well,
themselves?
we have the money of the $575 that we provide the water well. 90% of that cost is the metal pump head, the old style pump head itself,
Okay.
which they would never be able to afford that, even if they put all their money together. It's cheap to do. I mean, we drilled down about 50 feet. The Mekong River is fairly close to there. We drilled down about 50 feet, PVC, concrete, put the pump head on it, and we built 700 wells in about 2.5 years, and we've had 3 that dried up in those 2 years. Yeah.
Can we do a concert fundraiser?
Man, you know, that's one of the things that's so crazy about this organization is we've just, it's so small. We've literally got, 2 people doing every bit of this. So anything that we can do, man, would be fantastic.
Is there really just 2 of you for it?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just 2 of us. And we actually hire, in the early days, we dug the wells ourselves, Philip and I did. Now we hire the rice field workers and pay them a good wage. So it's like they won the lottery a lot of times because they're, we're building all these wells and it gives them a job to give back to the community.
This is totally worth not having a girlfriend for. That's pretty amazing. So you've dedicated your life to this, really.
People say that and they want to thank me so much, but here's the thing, and as a mom, you can understand this. To see a child drink clean, fresh water for the first time or take a bath, because they're used to bathing in scum pond water, and to see the relief in the parents' eyes at the fresh water, hey, man, that's payment enough.
That is
it
cool.
really is.
That is really cool. Wow. So if we want to help you out with this, we go to what is called everydropcounts.us.
Yes, www.everydropcounts.us. $575 gets you a freshwater well. I'll shoot a little 5-minute video introducing you to the family. It's always me. And yeah, it's the 501c.
We should be able to raise $575, shouldn't we?
We should. I'll tell you what you should do. We should come do the show there.
Happy Hour Cambodia.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
It's a great idea.
Yeah, man. It's in the budget, right?
What's the airfare situation to Cambodia?
It's a 26-hour flight to Cambodia.
26.
But, but honestly, I could tell you it's not that bad, but it's that bad. I'm used to it. I go just about every other month now.
Do you?
Yeah,
Wow.
and
how much does it cost?
Plane ticket out of Houston or Chicago is probably around $900. It's come down. For years I went, it was $1,500, $1,800. Now it's about $1,000 to get you over there.
So it's almost 2 wells worth.
Yeah. It just depends on. In the early days, I would do a movie and I'd fly all the way over there to build 3 wells. And now this last time we did 56. The trip before we're doing 40 this time. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Danielle,
we
you're
have too much
signing
water
up.
here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
Maybe we should send some.
Okay, we're moving right along in our music plans here. Andrew Duhon's going to play us a song. Mm-hmm. And then what are we doing after that?
Commercials.
Okay.
No, we did that.
All right. I think we did. We
did
done
that.
enough commercials.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about something to do with the Preservation Resource
Sounds nice.
Center. Do you have a good subject to mention? Something about paint?
I have one song to figure it out.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay, Andrew, what are you playing?
I'll play you something new.
All right.
You see it left, I see it right. So you go your way, I go mine. Until we both lose sight that it was never black and white. The truth is somewhere undefined, some shade of gray that's hard to come by. It takes a piece of your heart, takes a piece of mine. But I don't need you to bleed for me. See, we both bleed the same color. See, we should take care of each other. See that we are blood brothers. We are all blood brothers. We are all blood brothers. We are all blood brothers. I believe we are all blood. So you lean a little left. Yeah, maybe I lean a little right. If we lean against each other, wouldn't we both stand upright? I wonder how we got here. Tell you my story, you tell me yours. Maybe we cut through all the bullshit. Maybe we find something pure. Maybe find something we both believe in fighting for. But I don't need you to bleed for me. To see we both bleed the same color. We should take care of one another. Yeah, we are blood brothers. We are all blood brothers. We are all blood brothers. I believe we are all blood. I see it left, you see it right. So you go your way, I go mine. Until we both lose sight that it was never black and white.
Thanks, Cheryl.
What do you think, you guys? Steve?
Awesome, beautiful song.
Joe?
Gorgeous.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Man.
Danielle? Shane? What do you...
Beautiful. Great message.
Thanks.
Unbelievable. Great voice, man.
Pretty high standard around here. What's happening to this mic?
It's about a relationship that went wrong recently, and no, I'm just kidding.
Thank goodness. I was worried there for a... That's got some... that's another good one.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a draft. I think I could hear some tweaks as it was passing by, but
Right.
you know, whatever.
That's the first time you played it?
That's what I'm here for. Just play something
just
new. see
Try
what
it
happens.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. You can hear it sort of like a band behind that.
You want to produce this one? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
good idea.
You got ideas? I got ideas,
I
baby.
was dying to start playing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you had it. Yeah. Totally. It was right there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, you can. You play along, you know. It's sort of...
Yeah, it's loose in here.
It's loose, yeah. It's unrehearsed. You
Yeah.
want to do another verse and chorus and play along?
Here it comes.
Okay. Steve, you're on.
You see it left, I see it right. You go your way, I go mine. Until we both lose sight. It was never black and white. Blood brothers. Cool.
Okay. That's got some potential. I hear it more sort of rocked up than that.
Oh, you want a double
Yeah,
time?
yeah. Don't you, Steve? You know what I mean? Sort of like... Yeah, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool.
I think that's going to work out.
It's gonna work great, baby.
Yeah, nice. Have you done a song with Josh Stockman yet? Yes.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
have.
Yeah, to promote Breakfast.
Oh, that's
we did
right.
One, yeah.
God, I love that guy.
Yeah,
You
he's
guys
he's
seen
nailing
this
it.
guy? Have a great day, guy?
Have we had him on?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes,
I'm
when
sorry I
you were,
missed
while
that.
you were away.
Yeah.
We have to have him back.
We should.
Do you know this guy? Have you done a song with Josh Stockman? Have a
don't.
great day?
Yeah, you guys should do that.
I don't know that.
Oh my God. He does a song with all kinds of New Orleans musicians. And it basically is him smiling and ending with saying, it's hard to describe. isn't it,
Yeah,
really?
he's just doing like the ironic, overly happy, overly positive thing. He's like a positivity vomit act, And but it's uplifting. And the thing about it is he's a really talented jazz guitarist, and he can play with anybody. And he can just stand there. He sits there with just the shit-eaten smile that you can't possibly believe in, but he's playing beautifully to these other whoever it is music, and playing along and tells you to have a great day, and then you do.
Yeah, and I was surprised when he came on the show because he's kind of serious about it in a way. He's serious about spreading music around the world.
He's not a stupid guy.
God, no,
he knows
he's
what he's
smart
doing.
and funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I thought it was just a goof, but it's actually he has some sort of a positivity message behind it.
Yep.
And it's really working because the music is great.
Oh, it's awesome.
And thousands and thousands and thousands of people watch these. All these views click up.
Henceforth, a great way for local acts to promote themselves through Josh's channel. So.
St. Lorelei, for example.
Definitely.
We can hook you up for that for a very small fee, Steve. Okay, so PRC, what did you think of to talk about during that 3 minutes of that song?
Well, since it's somewhat in the national zeitgeist right now, I thought I'd talk a little bit about Buddy Bolden and our recent effort to help save his house.
Ah, that's nice.
Okay, Buddy Bolden was?
He was, some consider him to be the father of jazz music. So in an era when, jazz was really, there were jazz bands, but not as we know them today. That's what they would call popular bands that would play at clubs for people to dance to. And Buddy Bolden was kind of the biggest thing out there, the first sort of pop star as we would think of it locally, and his whole deal was improvisation, and so he brought that to jazz music, and that is of course what defines jazz as we know it today.
He was a trumpet player, right?
Yeah, I think it was cornet and then trumpet. And so he was very famous in his day, and he's remained this mysterious character because there's no known recordings of his music. There's only one known photograph of him. And he went mad and was institutionalized, and that's all we got. So he was so popular that, oral history of him has been passed on to this day, and we know him as this legend, but none of us have ever actually heard him.
That's wild, yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Well, there's a whole movie about him actually now, though, right?
Right, it just came out. And so we've been working for months with the musician PJ Morton, who is a drummer with Maroon 5 and an incredible, not a drummer,
he's a pianist.
Thank you. And an incredible musician in his own right. He just won a Grammy for his album Gumbo Unplugged. And he is the son of the pastors of the Greater St. Stephen's Church, which was founded in Central City and now has campuses in New Orleans East and Atlanta. And the church happens to own the Buddy Bolden house, and they didn't know this until after they purchased it. They purchased it because it was adjacent to their church, and so they own that house and a few others and some lots. And
where is this house?
It's on 1st Street in Central City, right off of Simon Boulevard. And so it's 2309 1st Street is the address.
Okay.
And so when jazz historians sort of uncovered that this was a house that Buddy Bolden lived in for so many years, there was a huge groundswell to try and save this house because it was just an absolutely deplorable condition. And unfortunately, there was nothing done. And so jazz historians and preservationists yelled at the church for a very long time.
Why didn't the church do something?
They had other priorities.
God, Jesus.
They're expensive priorities.
Money.
I don't know. They have done incredible work in the community, and so.
Why did they buy the house? Were they going to knock it down and put a parking lot there or something?
That's what people were really worried about because next to it is a vacant lot where something was clearly once there and is now a parking lot, and so the huge concern was that it would be demolished.
So they probably bought this with the intention of demolishing it, and then someone like you came along and shamed them into not doing it. So do they still own it?
They do. And luckily, we are getting to work with them because we didn't shame them. There was a lot of shame going around, and we stepped in and said, we want to help. And luckily, PJ said yes. And his parents kind of handed him the house, from what we understand, because PJ hatched a plan to use the house to better the community. And so the house and the house next door to it they're going to be revitalized, transformed into a recording studio and a seminar space. PJ's whole thing is that he's an incredibly talented and successful musician, but he could never find representation locally. He always had to go to Atlanta or LA to actually do the business side of the recording industry. And he thinks that's wrong, and he wants to teach people how to own what they create,
Well, we've talked for a long time in New Orleans about the fact that we have so much music and no music industry at all.
Right.
So that would be a great thing if
Right.
someone came along and actually did that.
Yeah.
So what's the hold up with putting money into this thing? He's got tons of money and his father owns a church.
Yeah, I'm not
What's-
quite sure, but I think he's trying to find the right partners
Okay.
who will
So
invest
what's
in the
your part
project.
of this?
So our part of this was that we have kind of helped light the fire underneath to really kickstart it. The city of New Orleans helped when they started citing the house for violations and said, we will start fining you daily if you don't fix this house. But because we'd been working with them, we were able to say, okay, we'll help you figure out how to fix this house.
Is the movie going to help you?
Yes, absolutely. The movie has helped bring national attention to Buddy Bolden, and the timing of fixing his house is just quite perfect.
So what would anybody listening to this do about it other than just go, that's interesting? Is there any way of getting involved? Do you want people to involve?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to our website. You can donate towards this effort.
We can find it on Instagram at PRCNO.
Correct. And you can also go to prcno.org.
.org.
That's
okay.
our website.
All right.
And just spread the word. This is an incredible jazz landmark and a site of incredible African-American heritage in our city. And too many of those are knocked down all the time.
That's a pretty interesting story. Good choice.
Thank you.
Good
Nice
job.
one.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Okay. St. Lorelei, people. What about another song? What are you thinking? Joe?
Yeah.
So, Joe, what do you do the rest of the time when you're not writing these songs?
I do hair.
You're a hairdresser.
Yeah, I work at a salon in Mid-City called Sweet Olive Salon.
Sweet Olive. And you have your own chair there, or you're an employee? Or,
I have my own chair.
so you
I
can
could
come
cut
and go.
your,
and-
I could cut
you
your
cut my
hair.
hair.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Could you color it as well?
Oh, yeah.
So do you do coloring and cutting?
I do.
I heard that was two completely separate things.
Yeah, they are actually. I mean, sometimes salons will have you specialize, but I get to do both.
She's multi-talented.
Yeah. And how did you get to be? Did you set out to be a hairdresser? You stumbled into that as well.
Yeah, of all the many things I stumble into, I used to always cut hair since high school. I went to a boarding school and.
Your parents put you in a boarding school because you were in trouble or because you were smart?
No, for dance actually.
For dance?
Yeah.
Oh, you went to like an arts dance school?
Yeah, I went to a.
Which one?
It's
Like
called
Fame?
Walnut Hill.
What's it called, sorry?
Well, I've actually heard it described as fame on acid. But
Fame on acid.
it's a good.
Wow, I think we're finally onto something here. Why is it called Fame on acid?
Well, there are a lot of people doing drugs there. A lot of other people doing drugs there.
You didn't do any drugs there?
No.
How did you avoid that for the 4 or 5 years of high school? People are doing acid at
talking about
high
this?
school? Is that really? Did you do drugs at high school, Shane? Danielle, did you? No, yeah, you.
I didn't get there, no.
No.
I've never.
Steve, you were doing drugs?
I did, but I didn't inhale.
But you're smoking weed. So you're dropping acid. Thomas.
I'm not.
Thomas
I'm
was
not.
a big
I'm
acid
not.
swallower.
I've never done acid.
You never did
actually.
it. Really?
Really?
What did you do?
Can we?
She danced.
Yeah, I
You're a
danced.
dancer. Okay. All right, so the school was called Fame on Acid.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And
Right.
have you written a song called Fame on Acid yet?
No. It's a good idea.
It's a pretty good title, though, right?
Yeah.
It's a good album title, actually.
Yeah.
It's got fame and acid in it, and a preposition. Okay, so what are you going to play?
This one's called Wish. This one's it's an old one of mine that I brought it with me to the band, and, but we still really love playing it, so but we play it today.
Okay,
We've made it our version.
it's called Wish.
Wish.
Okay, check it out.
I wish you'd take my broken brain, brush these thoughts, make them go away. But I know with you
Okay, apart from all the bizarre screaming in the background,
Didn't even
you didn't hear that?
No.
I was embarrassed for you, but thank God you didn't hear that. That was beautiful.
Incredible.
God, what a voice.
Great voice.
Shane, what do you think?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah.
You could hook these people up with someone in Hollywood, couldn't you?
We'll talk afterwards. Sure. I think you got it. I mean, it's amazing. You guys are awesome.
Couldn't you hook them up with Woody Harrelson? And doesn't he have a house party once in a while?
Yes, he does. Yeah, he lives on Maui, so next time I'm there, I'll talk to him.
Nice. That would be good. We could totally go to Maui and Cambodia with you. Okay, we have to get the hell out of here talking about going to Cambodia and Maui. Thank you so much, Shane. So if we want to find you, we go to everydropcounts.us.
Correct. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Man, fantastic. Thank you.
Amazing.
And I love New Zealand, by the way. I've just got back from there. It's one of my favorite countries. The first country in the world to give women the right to vote.
There you go. And what year was that?
I
It was like 80. No, what was it? It was 19.
You're from
something.
there. You should know.
I remember learning it in school, but I can't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
Well, it is a great country.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks on behalf of everybody in Cambodia and around the world for everything you're doing. It's pretty fucking incredible, isn't it?
Thank you very much.
It's sort of humbling to meet these great people like this, Andrew, isn't
Totally. Yeah, doing good things instead of what the fuck are we doing with a stupid podcast, right?
Really? I know. Nothing. Well, I guess we're introducing a few more people
that's
to
right.
Shane, so we've done something.
That's right.
But congratulations and thanks for mentioning.
you very
Danielle de Sol Green has been here as well.
Thanks for
With
having
your
me.
two awesome little kids.
Yeah,
Helena and Marina.
that's right.
Gorgeous little girls.
Thank
And
you.
very well behaved. Only had one accident.
I'm
And
very
that's
lucky.
Jill LaFleur, your surrogate parent, talking to them. And Christian Unruh, our music consultant and director over there, helping out. So thanks for being here. Very, very nice to meet you. And PRC made a good choice.
Thank you.
I heard that they had a nationwide search.
They did,
And they-
yeah.
I'm
And
glad
they
they
chose the
found
person
you.
in the office 7 feet away.
Oh, really?
So,
Is
yeah.
that right? You were there all along.
I was the editor of our monthly magazine, Preservation in Print, for several years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So how funny.
Very, very
Yeah.
cool.
Well, congratulations. That's a good
Thanks.
gig.
Thanks.
And Joe Morris and Steve Walkup from St. Lorelei were who we can find. Can we find you playing live anywhere, by the way? I'd love to go see this.
Well, people are in and out over the summer. We're trying to figure something out. Hopefully, something in the fall, like in September. We're looking maybe something at the Always Lounge.
Geez, you better come up with a better
Hi.
answer than that, I think. Steve, have you got something
Well,
more public relations
The thing
ready?
is we're focusing on the album and doing
that's
all the
right.
overdubs and
Okay,
all.
that's the way to say it, Joe.
Well, we
Okay.
just recorded with
That's why I
Mark
don't
Bingham,
usually
who
do
has a
that.
couple of Grammys, and
Okay.
he's Heidi Street in exile, as I call it.
Joe, if you want to try that answer again?
No, I'm done. I'll just take his.
Okay, we'll just
copy
go
and
with that.
paste.
Okay, so you're concentrating on an album which is coming out in the fall. That's the key thing. It's beautiful. So I advise anyone to go to St. Lorelei, stlorelei.com, and check out the music that's up there in the videos. It's absolutely beautiful. Congratulations on everything that's going on there. We look forward to hearing that record when it comes out. Andrew Duhon, thank you so much for being back here.
Good to see you, dude.
It's great to be back. Today's show has been brought to us by Nola Pens, the only pen made from a fallen Waterpin live oak tree. Not just this pen, but all these pens that this guy makes. Check them out at nolapens.com. Thank you to Basics on Magazine Street and the Positive Vibrations Foundation, who create and encourage community through the development and preservation of the arts, music, culture, and heritage. And if you'd like to be a member of our Patreon family, go to patreon.com and search for It's New Orleans Happy Hour. And for as little as $1 a month, you too can be a part of our Happy Hour family and get exclusive free stuff. Correct, Asher? Right. Thank you very much. Today's show is produced by Graham DePonte. Our associate producer is April Stoff. Our music producers are Monique Pyle and Christian Unruh. Our technical director is Thomas Walsh, and our Facebook Live feed director is Asher Griffith. Andrew Searock. Searock is our fact checker and social media connector, and our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can sit upright for about 60 minutes while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com, where you can also check out many other happy hours that we've made previous to this one, as well as some other shows we make here at INO Broadcasting, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tooker, and our award-winning podcast about death called Death the Podcast. Joe, you would love that. You should check that out. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la, and you can keep up with us on a bunch of time-sucking social media like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On all of it, We're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our It's New Orleans Facebook page and on our Instagram feed as well. These photos are all taken by Jill LaFleur. You can find more of Jill's photos at lafleurphoto.com. If you listen to this on your favorite podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you have one, to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. If you're listening to us on Spotify, you can follow us and get Happy Hour delivered to you each week. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Freret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon and everyone else around the table here at Wayfair and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week for more Happy Hour.